Okay, hello guys. Might just turn the music down just slightly. There we go. Alright, here we are. Look at this, and I have my green screen back. So today we're painting yet another frame to Dino-Defenders, continuing on where we basically left off. Big Shark the Master of Bricks says hello. Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus, welcome to Dino-Defenders. And Riley Ross, all the regulars coming back in. So this frame, we've got this lady sat at the piano, and it's you know, this lady over here, and we're sort of coming at this from let me just work this out, from sort of this angle here, and thus let me just move that over. Yeah, so but for now I've been painting this all morning. What I like to do sometimes is I'll paint a frame, like, well, I paint whenever I can, but I'll paint a frame in the morning to get myself sort of geared up for the live stream, and then I'll stop and then I'll finish it on the live stream. So Clayton Fioriti says, I was literally on my way to catch your last stream and you started up a new one. Nice. Yeah, I did Jurassic World Evolution live stream last night, and that went pretty well. That went pretty good. So for what I need to do now for this frame, I'm thinking I might work on the walls. So I'm going to get rid of the piano for a second. And I'm just going to get the, you know, drip the colour from, grab the colour from the wall here and do this. Corvo at AZ, which I haven't seen for a while. Welcome back, dude. What alternate universe is this? Clayton says, that old character reminds me of the woman from We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. And Spider Ass, hello, yo. Do you know, I own We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, and I haven't seen it in some time. I need to give that a rewatch. But yeah, so I figured that I'm going to do something with this frame, because me and my wife, we bought a 30-day free trial for Disney Life, and so like over the last few days I've been watching a lot of Disney films and taking inspiration from the way that they... Oh, I just realised something. I probably shouldn't do that yet. I should probably actually... just let me know if you can hear me alright. You know, hear my voice. All okay. Compared to the music. How loud is that? Yeah, I don't know how loud the music is, but we'll see. You can hear you. Okay. Roll back the rock, Jack. Just seeing what you guys are saying. The chat is a little bit out of my reach. Yo, I'm a raptor. Welcome, welcome. Spider Ass, have you heard about the rumour for flying DLC for Jurassic World Evolution? No, I have not. Yeah, they do need to add, you know, the mosasaur and pteranodons and dimorphodons to Evolution. And it'd be nice to have, like, obviously all the different types of pteranodon that we see in the movies. I mean, that'd be really cool. Clayton, you watched Alien 3: The Assembly Cut last night, as I saw on Twitter. And from what I understand, you enjoyed it, which... Don't want to sound too cocky, but I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. So I'm going to keep, because that is an awesome movie. I'm just going to grab that dark colour. Amazing film. So you liked all the extra stuff then? The Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus asks, Jack, Mosasaurus, non-Jurassic World, versus Tylosaurus, who do you think would win? Oh, that's kind of a tough question because from memory I can't remember which one of those is bigger, and I can't remember which one of those has more teeth. We need more teeth. Spider Ass asks, have you watched Predators? Yes, I own Predators. I have Predators on Blu-ray. I bought a free pack. I think Predators is pretty good. There's a few things that I would have changed. I don't really like the way Lawrence Fishburne's character dies. I don't mind his character, you know, being all crazy and whatnot, but I think the way he dies, like the way he just pops like a water balloon, is a little bit like jarring. It's almost like comical to an effect. Okay, got that. And then I'm going to use like a bright blue for the top of this bit of the wall, because this is the edge of the tank. I'm actually going to desaturate that bit. A little bit, so it's like so. Okay, now what colour did I do the floor? Okay, so the light will be there, but the floor is kind of like this dull blue. Yes, as I was saying, I've been watching lots of Disney films with my wife, like the animated ones over the last few days, and some that people, you know, not the go-to ones, like Lion King or something. I've been watching like Treasure Planet and Basil the Great Mouse Detective. What else have we watched? Brother Bear. And what was the other one? I can't remember now. But yeah, we've been watching those so I could get inspired by the sort of art style. Ooh, look at that. Let's put that above that. There you go. Looking pretty good. What are you guys saying? I liked Extreme, very 90s. Says Corvo AZ. Oh, Imperial Diamond. That's because Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus asked, Dino-Defenders or Dino-Defenders Extreme? It is Dino-Defenders Extreme. Oh, I just realised the old top of my head is being cut off whenever I. Let's see if we can do something about that. Let's see, how high am I going to go? There you go. So I shouldn't. Yeah, there you go. And I don't know if. No, I'd rather just keep my shoulder cut off. Yeah, it's Dino-Defenders Extreme. I just call it Dino-Defenders for short. So now look, we've got some detail here of that, and there's a line going down the side. Like this. Yeah. Now it's just going to add a line here, and I'll mix up that line like this. Now for the floor, I need to add the shadow of the piano, and then I need to add the light from the no, that's not right, is it? Tyler was bigger as far as you know in real life, says I am Raptor. Okay, well then I'm gonna go Tylosaurus. I'll just make that choice out of the two. Yeah, Predators wasn't the worst spider ass. It was just, you know, it's pretty good. It had some pretty neat world building. It was just, it was very hard to sort of, you know, sympathise with, like, prisoners. In a way that, like, convicts that were disagreeable, you know. Spider Ask says, my favourite Disney movie is Nightmare Before Christmas. I believe they own the distribution rights for merchandise and selling the film. I don't know if they actually had anything to do with the movie when it was being created. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Robert Muldoon was cloned for the comic book, says the Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus. The Assassin 89 says Clayton added a video which was amazing. Something of the birds after Jurassic Park 3, a comic book called Redemption. Ludlow did survive the cargo hold event, and he was all manipulated. Tim Murphy, what? I think you mean the comic book that Clayton's currently doing a video series on is the one called Devils in the Desert, which basically sort of continues the story on from Jurassic Park 3 with the Pteranodons, and then Redemption is the one where Tim Murphy meets Ludlow, and he's all scarred and he's all sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, malformed and not good. After he's all like misshapen and scarred, and that after his encounter with the infant Rex. Which is a comic book I personally don't like, but Devils in the Desert is pretty fun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to straighten this line up, because this is a bit too angled. And this whole section here is, there's like plants and stuff I need to add in, so. I'll check out chat in a second. I just want to get this right, because I want to... So I hope you guys enjoyed my new Black Sack episode I uploaded last night. The crocodile episode. That was a fun one. There we go. Just going to save this. Let's see what else you guys are saying, because the chat is going past quick. Mauled, yes, he got mauled by the baby T-Rex. Ludlow did. That was the word beginning with M that we were all looking for. He got Hannibal wrecked. He looked like the guy in the wheelchair in Hannibal, didn't he? Mark Davies says, speaking of Clayton, he tweeted about watching Alien 3 The Assembly Cut. Would love to see a video of you both discussing the highs and lows of the Alien series personally. Maybe we will one day, Clayton. I don't know if you're up for that. I definitely would be. Love to talk more about the Alien series. Yeah, they did. Apparently they filmed RJ's death scene. But it got cut from the movie. There's that behind-the-scenes production still of a raptor in the Lost World standing up in the long grass with blood all dripping from its mouth, and apparently that's from the scene, from what I understand. But it was going to be so we know some details of RJ's death. So like he was going to stand there and simply like close his eyes as the raptors were closing in. Who was talking about that? Let me just see. That was the Assassin 1989. Clayton Fioriti says, I think I've seen Crocodile 2. Oh yes. I'll say this. We have recorded the Black Sack after this one. We recorded 2 in quick succession. Not on the same day, but we recorded 2, so I've got one that's currently in edit as I paint. Which, there's always a thing when we record the Black Sacks, I always think we're going to sound like idiots. Well, we probably do. But I always think like, oh god, did we actually cover like what we wanted to cover? Did we say what we wanted to say? Because we're just making it up as we go along. And then I watched the footage back, and if I do say so myself, they're always better than I remember. So right now I'm like thinking about the next episode of the Black Sack that we've got recorded, and I'm like sitting here thinking, oh god, is it good? Because it didn't feel good. And then hopefully it will be. Okay, so I've added that detail. I'm just going to darken this leg on the piano a bit. And darken this side of the piano. So this is a custom piano for this character. So any musicians out there might look at this piano and be like, it's all backwards. Like the lid is opening different. I've never seen a piano like this. The keys are all wrong. The keys aren't. I'm not concentrating on the keys too much because she sat in front of a lot of them. But yeah, this is her custom piano, and there's a line of dialogue where she mentions that. So you don't have to freak too much. Anyway, what else are you guys saying? Clayton says, I'm not sure about more alien stuff on my personal channel, but Jack, yes, we'll organise something for my channel. I'm about tomorrow, so maybe we'll record something. Oh no, wait, I'm not about tomorrow. Oh no, well, I might be. I've got a dentist appointment, so after the dentist appointment, if I'm about, yeah, we should try and record something if you're free. Okie dokes. Now, I think I need to darken the piano a little bit more. There. Right, now let's work out. Actually, let me thin these lines out on the wall. Sweet. I Am Raptor asks, do you and Clayton know each other in real life? Yeah. Well, we've met in real life. I live in the UK, Clayton lives in the US. So there's a big, big, big body of water in between us. But we have met in real life. We went and saw Fallen Kingdom together in London. And yeah. It's sort of been it always makes me laugh when I think back to how that all started. That was the Pterodome video, Clayton, where you put I think you put a comment under one of my videos or something, and then you made a video mentioning something about Masrani Global, and we did that back and forth about the stop motion in Jurassic Park. And then we got talking more and more, and then yeah. Spider asks Clayton, which is your favourite JP comic? I also ask you, Jack. Mine's probably Raptor Attack, just because it's so nostalgic. You know, I didn't really read them too much when I was younger, but the covers of those comic books, oh my word, I used to see them everywhere. And they always used to like really inspire my imagination to think like about further, you know, stories of Jurassic. Right, what's the floor like? It's got these lines. Let's just take one of these. Take one of these lines. The return to Jurassic Park, the first 4 issues are screen-worthy, says Clayton. Yeah, they are. They are. There's some really good stuff in the comic books. They go horizontally, so... Or maybe a little bit brighter than that. Maybe not that bright. Sweet. Now what I'm going to do for part of the walls is darken the floor there a little bit, because that is, you know, where the door is to another room. A darkened room. Like so. And I'm actually going to be experimenting with this frame because I want to try a different effect on all the piano and stuff. Yeah, I still want this one. Maybe if I duplicate the piano, put it underneath, and then squash it down like so, and then skew it. And then press Alt and then get it to edit and warp. Basically want it something along the lines of this, and then I'll rub out that bottom bit. And then I'll make it all dark, like so, and we'll blur it a little bit. And then I'll just change the opacity down. Actually, I'll squash it a little bit. There we go, look at that. Not looking too shabby, if I do say so myself. Or actually that might even need to be maybe a little bit bigger. Let's stretch it out like, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Okay, got some almost 3D-ness going on with that. What else are you guys saying? Have you watched the Jurassic Park musicals by Lu Henji? Asks the Imperial Diamond. No, I have not. I remember there was a guy I worked with. I worked on these like online videos many years ago when I was a teenager. And there was a guy I worked with, I forget his name, but I know he became an extra in the Captain America movies. He was an American guy who was aspiring to be an actor and stuff. And he had an idea for a Jurassic Park musical where it involved like velociraptors. And I thought that was genius. He had a whole song and everything, and I can't remember how it goes, but I just remember the velociraptors. So I thought that was a great idea. And then that was like back when I first heard about his idea. Wait, why isn't that? I don't remember anything online, anyone talking about a Jurassic Park musical. It was like an unheard thing. And then since then, there's been hundreds of Jurassic Park musicals come and go. Yeah, velociraptors. They'd come out and tap with their claws, like. Will you do musicals in Dino-Defenders Extreme? Asks Iron Raptor. I hope no. I hate musicals. There's no musical numbers in Dino-Defenders. No, you don't have to worry about that. However, if I had the means to write a good musical number and then add it into Dino-Defenders, sure, I would totally have added musical numbers in this, but no. So we do that, and then we convert that layer into a smart object. And then that basically means we can do this. Basically cut. Delete that. Nope. No, don't worry. There's no musical numbers in Dino-Defenders. we go, and then I'll just blend that a little bit more. Sweet. Control, there we go. Now I might just up the saturation on this. Ooh. See now Rose, this character Rose is looking a little bit too small, big, sorry. Maybe I need to put her up there. Excellent. Actually, that's a point. I'm just going to put all that blank, and I'm going to just colour in her the stool she sat on, and it's got a very dark blue top and just black legs. So it's really simple. Let's add a new layer. Riley Ross says, "Oh, I know what's wrong with this shadow. There should be a clean line towards the tank and no piano leg shadow over there." Yeah, I will be doctoring, don't worry, I will be doctoring the shadow under the piano once I add the light from the tank. So like, you know, the light from the tank is going to affect everything, but for now I'm not doing that. So the way I work with lighting when I paint is I will do it one step at a time, and then that helps me see how the light, you know, reacts to other things. So basically I won't do the light for the tank until towards the end, because then I can actually see where it should affect, and then I can see like what I can remove and stuff like that. Because if I added it now, for me it's it might confuse me a little bit. I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. I haven't forgotten the light from the tank. It's like in this frame, this light here, I didn't add in. I already added the shadow under the table. But yeah, I didn't add the light under this until it was like towards the end. You know, I should just use a straight one. Let's just see. The Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus. This stream music would be so much better with Godzilla. GMK. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah. Giant monsters, all-out attack. I would love to put loads of different types of music playing in the background, but you know, you get copyright strikes if you do that. And thus, I'm using some video game music that I believe is it doesn't get affected by that. Plus, I haven't got my headphones in, so I can't hear it. What are we on at the moment? Pretty peaceful. Hello, Dino the Freak. Just put a thing at the start saying it's not your music. No, it's not that. It's I actually monetize these videos. So if I want to make the money, if I don't want the money to go to the if I want the money to go to my bank account, I need to make sure that it's completely copyright free. So I am using this music. Okay, so let's add all this back in. Yeah, so now if I do the plants, so I've got these lots of plants here. There's some like bushes. Let me just see if I've got the rose. Let's see if I can find this file. Ooh, no, I don't. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm just going to lean over and try and have to add another file into my folder so I can actually get it up on here. I'm looking for a file that has all like the props for the room. Oh, I need a new place for this. I think I'm like... Oh. Let's have a look. There it is. Going to see about moving some stuff around. This statue of the bull T-Rex from the Lost World is currently unpainted, but I'm going to get like some bronze and try and make it into like a bronze statue. You can see all the scars on its lip. Yeah, looking badass. Yeah, I'm going to try and turn that into a bronze statue. It's got like a car is standing on. Pop that back up there. Yeah. Do it gold, says Spider Arts. Do you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? It's not a story a Jedi would tell you. Okay, let me... I'm just going to move the computer screen over. I hope nothing goes wrong. The Nicodemus 1984 says, hello everyone, hugs from France. Yo, yo, yo. I hope it's all good over there. Actually, I think where I am right now, I'm closer to France, where I'm sat, than I am to like the Midlands in the UK. Oh, T-Rex's tail's in the way. Okay, so this lady will go there. Oh yeah, so I need to download the file I just sent myself. And then open it. There we go, that's the file I was looking for. Just seeing what you guys are saying. The lady with the piano looks like Gunnar Eversole. Although that's just me. She does a little bit, doesn't she? Okay, so I was looking for this because this one has the plants I'm looking for. I can actually find it. There it is. Oh, wrong one. Why did you do that? I want to... And then, so these plants are the ones behind there. So let's... And because I've drawn this one's as darker, I'll be doing these again. So these are just going to be plants. You know what, actually, I should remove the piano. And those ladies, yeah. And we've drawn these all by hand. Imperial Diamond Spinosaur says, imagine painting a ton of these and putting them into a movie of your own. What? That is what I'm doing. The chat's being cut off. Why is that the case? I wish you could extend the chat out. Let's see, can we do that? Pop out chat. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I've got it. I've got the chat popped up. I'm just going to move the mic over a little bit more and the screen. Oh, actually, I should check that. There we go, that's nice and good, isn't it? How long have I been streaming for? No, everything's in the way. 45 minutes, oh, I've got ages. So anyway, what were you guys saying again? I Am Raptor asks, have you already finished some dino models, not the statues? Yes, I have, but I will not be revealing those. I will not be revealing the dinosaurs until I would say the first trailer for episode 1. So for those of you that don't know, I'm creating this cartoon or animated series, and it's going to be in six episodes, and then those 6 episodes are going to be placed all together at the end to make a movie, essentially. Totally non-polluting, spared no expense. And yeah, so the dinosaurs are going to be hidden until, aside from the ones you're going to see in promotional material, like the one on the like the banner, and if I did like concept art for the Megalosaurus, and I did write final design, but it's going to change. In some aspects, you know, you've seen some teases, but most of the animals in this, and the creature in the tank, I did a whole live stream on that. But most of the animals in this are going to be hidden. There's a couple of specific ones you won't see until you see the show. I say this now, could change, but I want to keep some hidden until you're watching it, because then it'll make it more special. The Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus asks, Jack, will there ever be another Jurassic Park collection video? Maybe. Maybe. It sounds really like cocky, but it's just the actual way I've felt about it. Like because we've been working on like producing Jurassic Park content and stuff, a lot of the stuff from my collection are bits that, you know, I've been gifted by Universal, or stuff that we've made, or you know, some unique bits that. So, like for example, if I did a collection video now, I'd like to talk about the InGen list, which I made for the DPG content. But then I kind of just feel like I'm, you know, jerking myself off. Is one way of putting it. And I don't know if that's interesting. I'd rather put that into a more formal video about the creation of the DPG website, which is something which we are now putting into edit. So, yeah, one of the latest things I bought was this though, which I've got here, which you saw in my video, which is the Herrerasaurus. Which is actually open. I've re-glued this box. I've had this out and I've put it back in because certain Pterodome thing coming up. I mean, it's in Crocodile, in the Pterodome episode of Crocodile, but yeah, it might reappear in a future episode. Oh, but what I meant was that person at the piano could have their mouth move when they talk frame by frame. There's certain frames in this where you'll see the mouths move. I'm trying to mix up the animation, so with each frame you won't be able to like sort of guess what will be moving. But the mouths are something that I've been doing more of, because obviously in a certain frame you'll want to know who's talking. So yeah, the mouths do move, not all the time, at the moment, but they do move. So also, did you ever sell that big JP3 Spinosaurus? Because I never saw it on eBay. Yes, I did. I got rid of that. Yeah, no, I did. I got rid of the big Spino. The thing was, I sold all my the Jurassic items that weren't sentimental to me, and I figured, you know, these would be more appreciated in the hands of other fans who really would love to own that stuff. You know, it came to a point where I was buying stuff because I was like, oh, I saw it on eBay and it's really cheap, and you know, for what it is, and I want to own it and then make a collection video about it. And then it was like I was making a collection video about stuff that I just basically hoarded, and it didn't fill me with as much satisfaction as my original collection videos did, because those original collection videos had history. They you know, they had more sentimental value to me, the items in those videos. So, and now because of our official work with Universal, you know, as I've mentioned, I don't really feel like making another collection video, because a lot of the collection, I say a lot, some of the collection's items in the video would basically be me going, this was a gift from Universal, this was a gift from Universal, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no. I don't want to be doing that. But that doesn't mean I won't be making videos that you know, look at specific items, you know, on their own, rather than a big collection video. Dino of the Freak asks, besides science fiction, are you into other genres, such as the mecha genre? You'll have to fill me in. What's the mecha genre? Do you mean things like MechWarrior for PlayStation? And like Armored Core and stuff? Is that what you're talking about? Because yes, I am a fan of those. My friend Ross is really into the MechWarrior series, and I love hearing about, like, you know, what he thinks about all that. I'm not only into sci-fi. I do love other stuff. I just think science fiction movies and pop culture is very easy to talk about online. I mean, I could make a video about The King and I, which is one of my favourite musicals of all time. However, I don't think many of the people who watch my channel would be they wouldn't care too much, I don't think, about The King and I, or what I think about Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, for another example. Oh, like Pacific Rim? Yeah, I love Pacific Rim. But then again, I'd call that the kaiju genre over the mech genre. Okay, so I want to change the color and then branch this out to Spider asks, have you watched Alien vs Predator? Yes, I used to own Alien vs Predator on DVD. And here's a funny story. Alien vs Predator, I was so excited to watch that movie when I was younger that the first time I saw it was actually on a pirated VHS of the movie, which was something I regretted, you know, at the time, because then I went to the cinema and saw it, and I was like, I loved it when it first came out. I thought it was really good, but then then I watched it more and more, and every time I watched it, it was like a little piece of it got chipped away in terms of like my enjoyment. And then now I don't own them on DVD, either of the Alien vs Predator films, just because. And it's going to sound really like almost babyish in a way, but like I just don't find enjoyment in them. I don't even find them that funny to like laugh at, because it just fills me with sadness because they had such a potential in their hands to make a really kick-ass you know, film that catered to both the audiences of the Alien and the Predator franchise. And I think that they royally goofed it. I think the studio interference with the first one, making it PG-13, and not, you know, trusting the audience of these properties to see a violent movie. It didn't have to be violent, but both the Alien and the Predator films were R-rated film franchises, and I feel like the studio didn't trust that that, you know, a movie about Alien versus the Predator would be looked at fondly by adults or make money by adults, and I disagree. I think it would have made a nice... I mean, it made money, the first Alien vs Predator, on name alone, but I think that would have happened anyway. And also, part of me, in hindsight, now this is in hindsight, I don't think this, I didn't think this at the time, but in hindsight, I think that they should have waited. I know it'd been like a long time, but I think they should have waited longer, because the technology, I don't think, was up to speed. You know, the CGI and the special effects in Alien vs Predator are pretty good, but I think when you watch things like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, the effects in those movies are just vastly superior to even the old Alien vs Predator films from 2004. And so I think that, like, if you were to make one now, if you were to make like an Alien vs Predator film nowadays, you're talking, it'd look awesome. It would look so good, because the technology is caught up in a much better way. And that's just my opinion on it. If I was to do an Alien vs Predator film, it would be so simple. It would be a group of colonial marines are called to a space station that's orbiting this planet, or maybe no planet. Maybe it's just orbiting this you know, asteroid belt or something. And then upon arrival, they see this weird ship attached to the side, and obviously that's a Predator ship, and they have no idea what it is. They go in to investigate. They learn that there's been an alien outbreak, and the scientists who are on this space station, this scientific research space station, unleashed this creature. They were testing on it, and the Predators turned up to basically go hunting. And so when the Marines arrive for the cleanup operation, obviously they're dealing with a lot more they can chew. That is literally all the story you need, I think, and then you can concentrate on fleshing out the characters and making them really likable. And I wouldn't want just clones of Hicks and Hudson and Dutch and all the characters that we've seen in the Alien and Predator movies when it comes to like Marines and all that lot. I wouldn't want to just see clones of those characters. I'd want to see interesting new characters that you can grow to love just as much as you did those old ones. That's the way I would have handled it. Just something simple, because I think setting the Alien and Predator films on Earth was a mistake, because the whole thing that Ripley goes through in the Alien series, I know they're not really meant to be, well, I mean, when they made Alien vs Predator, they were meant to be canon. They're not anymore, thanks to Prometheus. But I feel like that they you know, they didn't think too much about it, because the whole point of Ripley's fight was that she didn't want the aliens to get back to Earth, because she was under the impression that these creatures would definitely be able to kill a lot of people if they got off onto Earth, because you know, they're dangerous and they can spread without people knowing and all this sort of stuff. And then in Alien vs Predator, they get out in a town, and you know, and they're all over the shop, and there's a lot of problems with the second Alien vs Predator film. I think the biggest problem with the second Alien vs Predator movie is the fact that it actually has the best Predator, or one of the best Predators from all of movie history in it. And that's the problem, because you know, it's like having a diamond in the middle of a turd. It's like, I don't want to fish through that turd to get the diamond. I just don't. But I know the diamond's pretty. So there's one way of looking at it. There you go. Let's have a look. Yeah, Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus. This is Jack. He needs more help doing his stuff. 1 like on this stream is 1 frame made. Yeah. Dino of the Freak says, I'd love to see you stream Alien vs Predator Extinction or Alien Campaign in the future stream. I was actually going to stream Alien Extinction back when I was streaming PlayStation 2 games, but alas I have not. I think I still have the means to do that, so maybe if I get round to doing it I will, but since I've got my new computer, maybe I can find an emulation of it or something, and I can do that. I can emulate it and have a look. Dino, I don't agree. I don't think the CGI in Covenant was terrible. The CGI in Covenant was damn good. Like, it was really, really good. The ship alone, the Covenant ship. I have a friend who works in CGI, and the guys who built that ship, the model, the CG model, they came to the I believe it was the university where he works. But anyway, they came there. And that ship was kept. That was so big in detail. It was so huge in detail that they actually had to keep it on 2 computers. Like, one computer couldn't handle the detail that went into the Covenant ship, which is just mind-blowing in this day and age. Like, they had to store it on several hard drives on 2 computers because it was so massive. Michael Tharm, hi Jack, have you seen AVP fan-made short film on YouTube? I'll try and track down the name of it. It's not the world's greatest, but it's probably close to what you're describing. AVP Redemption. Yes, I have seen that. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. My favourite Alien vs Predator fan movie that is currently out there is the Batman Dead End. It's Batman vs Predator vs Aliens. And it is kick-ass. It's really good, and it's really professionally made, and it has, I would say, probably one of the best looking Predator designs that I've seen on screen. This like red Predator looks awesome, and one of the best Batman designs. It's like the next step up from the Adam West Batman, and I just think it looks really kick-ass. Yo, Jurassic Collectibles, welcome. I loved AVP considering how familiar we'd become with Alien. It felt like JP3 for that franchise. And you thought that Ridley did a really clever job of recreating the feeling of the first Alien through Prometheus. I agree with that first point. I think the problem with AVP is it's just they weren't confident enough to take it to its full extreme. And it's not just about the violence, but the violence was part of what made those 2 characters, dangerous. And in AVP, I never got the sense that they fully, showcased what those creatures were capable of. I'll say this though, I really like the scene when the alien and predator first meet, because the aliens take out the predators like quite quickly, and I kind of like that, because there's always this thing like that the aliens are almost like cannon fodder, and that's not, that's not something I necessarily agree with. Okay, so that's where we are so far with that. I think there's a little bit of plant life, the big one there, and then there's this like tree branch, a couple of tree branches here. Michael Tharm says, I love Batman Dead End. I know the director, he worked on Predator 2, and the Red Predator was the concept he had for the film. Awesome. Yeah, it shows, it really shows. Dino the Freak, hey Jack, do you think Dr. Church's survival in the dying alien hive in Alien's Labyrinth should be made into a short film? No, and I'll tell you the reasons why. That sequence in that comic book is horrendous. Like, it's great, it's fantastic, but it's so disturbing. Like, it's so unnerving and horrible that I think to put that on screen, you're gonna have it'd just be one of the most morbid scenes ever. And I think the ideas, I mean, I really like it. I think if they ever put that to screen, it would just probably be one of the most disturbing things ever put to film, in my opinion, in terms of ideas and all that sort of stuff. I've contemplated that because Labyrinth is my favourite Aliens comic. I actually own it. It's over there somewhere in the Aliens box that I own. But it's so disturbing that I've always thought like it'd probably be too sickening. And a lot of people say Alien 3 is disturbing, but like in terms of its bleakness. But Alien 3 has nothing on that scene in Labyrinth. It's just so. When the aliens try and force the guy to have sex with his own mum, it's like, I don't, like, what? Like, it's just so gross. and then not only that, like, you know, the aliens try and, like, he feeds people the goop that it's just, it's the worst. It's definitely, like, up there with, like, what you'd want, how you imagine living in a hive. You know, I'll give them that, but I think in the comic book is enough. I don't need to see that shit on screen. It's just that's a good one. No, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's try and cut some of this. Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to blend these layers, and then I can start to cut some of this light down because I think it's a bit too harsh. What are we doing now? Prometheus is incredible, Clayton, and JC agrees with you. I love Prometheus. The only thing Prometheus suffers from is editing, in my opinion, and you know, there's the scene where like Vickers goes into Wayland's quarters once he's woken up and he's getting, he's getting prepared for he's getting prepared to go see the engineer that is still alive, and you see these two guards standing outside the door, and then they're never ever seen again, and it's like, were they on the ship still when the captain flew the ship into the engineer's ship? Because you know, they might have wanted out, and I think it's an editing goof, and it's really irritating because you can see how if they just cut it as the doors close, you wouldn't see those two characters, and then as an audience member, you'd assume that those two characters bit the dust when Fifield is running around in the bottom of the ship. But I'll say this, my favourite thing about Prometheus and my favourite thing about Alien Covenant, the two new Alien films, is the atmosphere. Like, there's a bleakness and a kind of grandeur to the world building that he's done, and there's like the music when they go into the like citadel where they see all the corpses in Covenant is just so hauntingly bleak and kind of beautiful in a weird way. Like it's how you imagine like people first discovering like the pyramids and the tombs. The tombs where they found mummies weren't in the pyramids, you know, the main pyramids, but like finding lost civilizations like that is always, it never used to interest me, but then after watching the Alien films, it's really piqued my interest because it's kind of haunting to know that there were these flourishing, you know, cultures out there in the world many years ago, and then they've just gone. And not only that, like we don't know all the reasons for why they're gone, and you'd think they would have left some, you know, some sort of evidence. And there's probably some evidence out there. I've got to do more research, which I I like to watch documentaries and stuff about this. You know, there's theories and all this, that, and the other, but most of the time, you know, these cultures just disappear off the face of the earth, and you don't really know why. And I think that with the Alien series, they perfectly captured that, because, you know, it felt real. Like the whole engineer's homeworld that we see in Alien Covenant it feels so real because it's so close to home, because it has like the Romanesque columns and like the way we look at ancient civilizations on our planet, and it's like it's very convincing in my books. Let's see what else you guys are saying. David Bowie should have been in Alien's Labyrinth, says Michael Thurm. Yeah. Turn back, Sarah! Don't go into the hive, Sarah. That scene in Labyrinth where she falls down the hole and all the helping hands, whatever they call themselves, grab her. In that version, it's they're all face huggers. We're helping hands. Okie dokes. Right, so let's add another plant in here. Just seeing what you guys are saying. Alien hive, incest in the morning. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was Michael Thurm said that. That's the reason, like, I really, really love the Alien franchise, because it's so alien. At the same time, they deal with you know, religious concepts and symbolism and you know, and all that sort of shit. And I just love it all. I just think it's so good. It's so clever how they've done it. And I think people easily dismiss it because they expect more, you know, aliens running around and people shooting them. And that, well, you know, I said that for my idea for an Alien vs Predator movie, but that's an Alien vs Predator movie that should know what it is. You know, you're mashing two franchises together that ordinarily should only exist in the idea of like comic books or a, you know, what if scenario, like seeing the skull of the alien on the Predator ship. I think the franchises, when you watch the films, they're very different. You know, so if you were to blend those two characters in a film seriously, I don't know if it would actually land. And like, it could be a serious movie in terms of like it takes its own story seriously, but it should know at the same time what it is, because, you know, in Predator, and I think a lot of people tend to overlook this, the original Predator is a pull the rug from under you movie. It's kind of like a starts off with Arnold Schwarzenegger doing his one-liners where he's like going, stick around and knock knock and all this sort of stuff, and it's really corny. And then, you know, it pulls the rug from under you and it becomes this like sci-fi movie horror. And when you're watching it, you're like, if this was in the same universe as I don't think it would be in the same universe as Alien. Like the aside from like the Alien versus Predator films, there's not really anything in the Alien film franchise, maybe Resurrection, that kind of meets the same sort of well, definitely Resurrection, but like meets the same sort of goofballness that you see at the beginning of Predator. And I know, like, Ripley says the one line of like, get away from her, you bitch, but It's not like she kicks open the door, sees two villains and goes knock knock and then you know, shoots them. And I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator as well. He shoots an arrow, a bow and arrow, entirely through the trunk of a tree, like a wooden arrow through the trunk of a tree. It's one of those overlooked moments, I feel, that like in Predator, that works for Predator, but I don't think works in context with the Alien franchise, because they've got two different atmospheres to them. So I think if you did an Alien versus Predator movie, I think it would need to be its own thing. Is all I'm saying. It basically needs to know what it is, not take itself too seriously, but not to be too goofy, because you've got to have stakes, because you're dealing with two of the most iconic, or if not the two most iconic alien creatures to go head to head. So I feel like it needs to be its own thing as well. What do you think happened to Lambert? Asks Dino of the Frink. And are you a familiar on the theory of her death? Yes, yes, I am. So the theory goes the alien raped her, right? If we're going to be blunt, the theory is the alien raped her. It's suggested. I personally don't think the alien did anything too untoward. Well, I mean, it killed her. That's pretty bad. But I don't know if it went, you know, put it one way. I don't think it went all the way. You see the spike go up between her legs, which is actually Brett's legs. They've just reused a shot from earlier, or a deleted shot from Brett's death scene in that. So they're not actually her legs. And then you see like her bare legs dangling down. I think it just tore up through her back with its tail and killed her that way. And I think that in doing so, she was, you know, hanging limply on the tail, screeching for a while, which is what you hear over the tannoy. I think it's, yeah, and it's deliberately sort of left up to your imagination, because what you conjure up, the thoughts of the what ifs, are much more horrific than, you know, if we were actually told what happened. That's the way I see it anyway. I'm actually going to up the size of that. What else are you guys saying? Dino of the Freak, her hyperventilating suggests a lot. Oh wait, look at this, look at this! The blinds are failing me in my green screen. The hyperventilating does suggest a lot, but I don't know if it confirms anything. It's like the tail could have been going through from the back through her chest, and then that's why she's like making all those sounds, is because she can't breathe because it's pierced like her lungs or something. What a delightful conversation we're having. How did this alien eviscerate this poor girl? Right. Let's do this. So I'm going to do the light on the floor now. And we will get I might watch Aliens tonight. Got a real hankering for it because I haven't seen it in ages. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Dino of the Freak asks, oh no, wait, I'll go back. Michael Farm says, I always thought the alien used its tail to inject a parasailing toxin into Lambert whilst it was impaling her. I know where you get the idea from that. It was in Aliens, James Cameron made up that the tail, if the tail spikes you, you go paralysed, so then they can easily take you back to the hive. I don't believe that was the case in Alien because they hadn't thought of it yet. So maybe retroactively they've retconned that maybe. So that's the case. But we know that it didn't take Lambert back to the hive. I have a lot of theories about the alien from the first film. Especially when it comes to the whole egg morphing thing. And having a queen and egg morphing. To me, having both, it actually makes way more sense than if you pick one or the other. Yeah, the Imperial... Oh no, Dino of the Freak says, are you familiar with the channel Alien Theory? He is pretty much Clayton Fioretti of Alien Lore. I am. I'm subscribed to him. I love his videos. I think he's really good, and he's taught me a lot about the franchise that I otherwise wouldn't have known. More to do with like the comic books and then the backstory of like the guns and stuff, like, you know, how they made the pulse rifles and all that sort of stuff. He deals more with that, which I really like. Okay. Jurassic Collectibles says, that's what I've always loved about Alien and a lot of fun films, is how ambiguous those moments are. They become nightmarish and fragmented. Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't need to know exactly what happened. Especially in a horror movie, that tends to work a lot better. Like, you know, when you don't know exactly what happened. But yeah, it's always best left up in your mind. Okay, so I've just duplicated this layer, and then so I can make it the reflection on the glass, essentially. And just blur it a little bit. There we go. Just going to save it because I haven't saved this in a while. Clayton says Lambert wasn't screaming because she was getting killed. I think she was. I think she was in a lot of pain. Jurassic Collectible says, yeah, I think the closer the film gets to Dream, the more organic it feels to the heartstrings, so to speak. Spielberg is good at that, Ridley and Cameron, which is why Alien works as a nightmare. See, the Alien as a horror film works incredibly well on so many different levels. Obviously, the movie... Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I'm just going to... reflection, save that layer as a reflection, grab these two layers and merge them. So like Alien is obviously a body horror movie. It's a movie about you know, the fear of having this parasitic alien in your chest, and you know, obviously. But it's also, I've mentioned this in the past before, it's also a great having Kane be the first person in the franchise to get impregnated was a great way of, you know, Ridley Scott getting, or the writer, sorry, should I say, Dan O'Bannon, getting the audience, both audiences, to sympathise with the fears of childbirth, which is what the which is what the films tend to tap into, and it's not just, what am I doing? It's not just fears of childbirth. You know, having a man have this thing come out of his chest, then, you know, men get into the fear of like childbirth and stuff, which you know, a lot of people have, and I have a lot of respect and huge amounts of respect for women who have to you know, face childbirth, because it's something that I'll never experience, but you know, the idea of it is very interesting and very I can understand the fears of it, and you know, me and my wife have been talking about it, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, the idea of it, yeah, it does has you know, some I have some fears about it, even though I'm never going to go through it myself. And it's like, to have Kane go through that in the film was a great way of bridging the gender gap with fears of childbirth. So and not only that, like with Alien, it, you know, they don't just tap into it with you know, the alien coming out of his chest. They go so deep with it to the point where the ship's computer is called Mother, and it's in this domed room which is full of light and life, like it's really bright and warm and cozy looking, and even then in the background with the sound design you can hear like this breathing going, so it's almost like you're in a womb. And then when you get to the engineer's ship, you know, some film analysis people which I've listened to and I highly respect and I agree with, have said that almost represents, like, you know, a failed birth. So you've got this dead creature who's fused to the chair that, or like it looks like that way. And you've got this, like, it's almost like a dead womb, and it's like, just going onto that psychological level is insane, and that's why I really feel like they nailed tapping into the body horror fears of childbirth, and it's something that I think really resonates with the Alien film, and why that, especially that original film, just worked so well. Was for little moments like that, which otherwise would, you know, be glossed over by a lot of people, and you wouldn't even be knowing that that's what's happening, but it's there, you know. As RLM would say, you know, you didn't notice it, but your brain did. That kind of thing. And all the Alien, well, not all of them, but a lot of the Alien films do that. They have little, they'll have moments in the film like that, which, you know, which is really interesting. But the first film especially, really taps into, you know, the fears of childbirth, and really gets under your skin. You know, gets psychological on you. Again, that's why it's one of my favourite film franchises. Yo Robo, thanks JC for saying I've got nice insight. I'm just repeating what I've heard other people say, and you know, listening to other fans of the Alien franchise, and then, you know, taking it on board. I think it was a guy called Rob Ager on YouTube who was talking about that, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we have got a lady at the piano. So the screen here, if I bring it right down to the bottom, so we can see if I what have I done here? I remove all of this. So I need to cut this out. It's weird because I always feel a little bit bad whenever I talk about like the Alien films and say like the fears of childbirth, because not everyone fears childbirth, but I feel like and I'm going to sound a little bit you know, stereotypical here in a way, but I feel like a lot of men out there in the world, they just don't get it. They just don't understand the fear of it, because it's something that we'll never oh crap, no, I didn't want to do that. We'll never go through, and I think some guys take it for granted, the fact that they'll never go through it. So the Alien series is perfect because it it almost forces guys to appreciate and understand what it must be like to carry a life form in you for so long, and then the complicated troubles that you might face upon birth. And I really feel like that in doing so, the Alien franchise is actually, you know, helping in a lot of ways, because it should never be you know, understated the miracle of birth, and also the complicated nature of birth itself as well. Yo James, how you doing? Yo Dylan Dilo. Dino the Freak says, roses are red, the sun is bright. Hey Brett, what do you think is right? I like that. Jurassic Collectible says, odd, because there is a whole Jurassic Park birthing and parenthood thread too. Not in a baby body horror way though. Are all movies we love subconsciously talking about parental relationships and bonding? Well, yes, because basically that's all, as humans, that's one of the main things we only have to go off of, is that, and you know, you can only talk about it so much. But I'm now going to go on a huge tangent, and if you've got time, bear with me. So the Alien and the Jurassic Park franchise, and I was thinking of making a video on this, but I'll see what you guys say about this. You know, now me and Clayton have talked about this in the past, when we were, you know, privately talking off air. But like the Alien and Jurassic Park franchise are weirdly related, like in a very strange and almost mystifying way. So like you know, the first Alien movie is, as I've been talking about, is all about birth and dealing with like the ideas of birth and playing that up to add to the horror of the film. The first Jurassic Park movie is all about you know, the birth in a way, because you know, you see the raptor being born, you've got Grant worrying about having kids, you've got John Hammond assuming that he can control life, and Grant fearing that if he has control over life, or no, fearing the control over life. That's why he doesn't want to have kids, because they're noisy, messy, expensive and smelly and all that sort of stuff. And you know, both movies also gave birth to the franchises. They gave birth to new ideas, and you know, they have a lot of themes and stuff around the idea of raising monsters in a way. Come to Aliens, and you've got yes, exactly, Jurassic Collectibles, Ellie is nursing the trike, exactly. Then you come to Aliens, and Aliens is all about life. It's about Ripley, and if you watch the director's cut, you learn about her daughter and how she wants to, you know, she lost her family, but then she wants to help raise Newt. or look after you, should I say, and you learn a lot more about the actual alien's life cycle. You learn about the the queen alien and how the aliens run their hive in a way, and you see, like, as James Cameron put it, you see the family unit of Ripley, Newton, Hicks at one point, and you learn all about the alien's life cycle. So the film's sort of themes are centered around the uncontrollableness of ever-expanding life. And The Lost World, again, we learn about the parenting of the two T-Rexes, and we learn that the dinosaurs, are flourishing across the island, and you have, it's bigger and more grand, which is what Aliens did with the Alien. You've got more bang for your buck in a way. Then Alien 3 is all about death, and the film kicks off. It's Newton Hicks are killed off, and Ripley finds herself alone. She finds herself in, as she says, in the arse end of space with people who are believing they found God at the arse end of space, as she says, and they're sort of and it's all about how the sinners have to make the ultimate sacrifice for redemption, for God, because they are the worst people in human history. They are the worst, well, not the worst people in human history, but they're the worst examples of man. You've got rapists, child molesters, all that sort of stuff, and it's up to Ripley to teach them to find redemption, and in doing so they sacrifice their lives for the greater good, to stop this alien creature getting into the hands of the evil corporation. And a lot of people die. Bishop dies as an android. He said he didn't want to be a toaster or something. So the film plays on the themes of death a lot. Jurassic Park 3, the T-Rex is killed within the first opening 20 minutes. Your beloved T-Rex is gone, and a new breed of monster is there. And I would say the comparisons for these two, this is why I've not made it into a video yet. The comparisons for Jurassic Park 3 and Alien 3 aren't as abundant as I can make with the first two films. I'm just trying to think of some more. So let's try and think. A lot of people die in the opening of Jurassic Park 3. They get a lot of the death out of the way first, and again, I guess it's almost like about finding redemption in a way. Like Grant, wants to find some redemption for not appreciating the life that he could have had with Ellie, I guess. He wants to, he feels bad for what he says to Billy. But this is the reason I've not made the video. As I've said, the comparisons between Jurassic Collectibles, Jurassic Park 3 does kind of deal with old age and near death. But anyway, I'll get back to that, because that's one of those things where I'm trying to make more comparisons with it. But I will say this, and this is what I said to Clayton. This might come down to, and obviously I'm going to go into subjective opinion here in a way. So I feel like that Jurassic Park 3 got things wrong with... well, actually, no, there's the comparison. Both Jurassic Park 3 and Alien 3 were met with mixed reception from audiences. And this is where the comparison in the franchise gets really, really interesting. So, and this will go into subjective opinion, so please bear in mind that this is... I'm thinking about this off the cuff here, as well as some thoughts I've had. So I believe that after Alien 3, the studio wanted to go back to make things more like Aliens in a way, and so they, when they wanted to do Resurrection. So obviously if Alien was about birth, Aliens was about life, Alien 3 was about death, obviously Alien Resurrection is all about bringing things back. Obviously it's in the title, Alien Resurrection. But the thing about Resurrection and the thing about bringing something back is it's never the same, which is what a common thread of Jurassic Park is. You bring something back from extinction, you're going to be dealing with a whole new life form. It's uncontrollable. You can't predict what it's going to do. You can't predict the outcome. And that is basically what happens in Alien Resurrection. You have Ripley comes back. She's not Ripley. She's an alien Ripley sort of hybrid, and she She can spit acid. Well, she has acid for blood, so she can't spit acid, but she has acid for blood. She can jump super far. She can communicate with the aliens on some weird, you know, psychic level. And also the aliens come back, obviously, because they clone them. And the aliens aren't the same. The Queen has a womb. She can give birth to this weird new alien hybrid of Ripley's DNA and the aliens. And even the aliens themselves, they're more brown in colour. They're more intelligent than we've ever seen them. And so this is where Alien Resurrection, and with the cloning that we see in Alien Resurrection, that it really goes into almost Jurassic Park territory. Now, the fourth film in the Jurassic franchise... I must say that Alien Resurrection was met with a lot of negativity. It wasn't a good movie. I think it's visually... you know, the effects are insanely good. However, I think the comedy and the jokes, they don't land. But anyway, that's just opinion. But then you get to the fourth Jurassic movie, and they're bringing a franchise back. So they you know, bring it back in a new way. It's almost like Alien Resurrection in the sense that it's reviving something from the past again. It's not going to be the same. The park is different. The characters are different. So Alien Resurrection tried to bring back the old, but do it in a way that, like, if you bring stuff back from the past, it's not going to be the same, which is disappointing when you're dealing with, like, Ripley, because you want Ripley to be Ripley. You don't, you know, it was a new character in a sense, but they sort of didn't tell us that in a way. It was like Ripley 8. But in Jurassic World, they brought everything back, but it was like with new characters, and they were starting from a different, fresh perspective. And not only that, in Alien Resurrection, it has a white hybrid creature, which is a mixture of human, as I mentioned, human and the Queen alien's DNA. And obviously in Jurassic World, you have a white creature that is a hybrid of the dinosaurs. Now, funny enough, they're both hybrids of the two popular recognizable characters from each franchise. So the newborn alien in Alien Resurrection is a hybrid between Ripley and the Queen alien, and in Jurassic World the Indominus Rex is a hybrid of the T-Rex and the Velociraptor, for the most part. There's obviously an expanded media and stuff, there's other DNA traits added in, but going by what the film says, the base genome is a T-Rex and they mixed it with a Velociraptor. So it's basically a giant raptor is what the Indominus is. And so there's that Fred connection between those two films. And thus ends, to an extent, from what I can gather, the sort of parallels between I mean, there's many more parallels you can go into, because you know, David, if we talk about characters like David and Wu, you can compare those because they both believe what they're creating is art. They're both Frankenstein characters. You know, even David Blumman quotes Mary Shelley all the time, and Dr. Wu is essentially creating Frankenstein-esque monsters with like the Endoraptor and the Indominus. So there is that comparison, but in terms of the actual films, the films start to peter off because you know, the Alien franchise then had Prometheus, which is a prequel, which talked about or went into the whole genesis of the alien and all that sort of stuff, and obviously I guess in some ways Fallen Kingdom has kind of done that with Benjamin Lockwood, in a way, but the actual, like, sort of comparing the movies, it's strange. So I haven't been watching the chat in a while, but basically collectibles, what you were saying earlier, the subconsciously talking about parental relationships and bonding, I would say that these two franchises that I love, they are very, very closely linked thematically and with what actually happens in the films. But it is strange because these two franchises have been working with separate studios, similar artists in between, like Stan Winston for one, but they've been sort of made at different times with different people. different circumstances. But what's strange is how closely they sort of really feel like you know, they feel in terms of like what happens in them. So yeah, I really hope that sort of helps. Jurassic Collectibles says there's also the comparison of the raptors being this near perfect animal, its intelligence unparalleled, and the xenomorph, which is described as perfection as a creature. Yeah, the so the raptors in Jurassic Park, the way I've always seen the raptors is they are the representation of the most intelligent group of dinosaurs that the prehistoric library had to offer, and in cloning that animal, it's the whole reason Grant looks at Wu and goes like, "You bred raptors?" Like like they're going to be difficult to not only like keep in pens, but they're going to be difficult to understand because you're dealing with a life form that during its reign on planet Earth was, as Grant predicts, you know, and what real science predicts, is they were you know, super intelligent. They worked as packs. We don't really know the full extent of how intelligent these creatures were, and so I think that, yeah, they're looked at as like a near perfect organism because you know, they successfully cloned. So look at it this way: they've not only successfully cloned like a T-Rex or a Triceratops, an animal, they've cloned the raptors, which can think for themselves. There's a and the alien, just to go back to comparison before I go on another tangent, the alien in the Alien franchise is looked at as a perfect organism by David and Ash because, you know, they're unrelenting machines of death, essentially, which you know, have a goal and they won't stop. They're not compromised by morality, is what they say. And they, yeah, so they look at their creations. I can imagine, I think Dr. Wu in the book, as Clayton pointed out when he reread you know, the chapter from the novel the other day, which reminded me, Dr. Wu believes he's created like a perfect creature with the raptors because they're breeding, and that means he's succeeded. That means, you know, he's created perfection because what he's created can recreate itself. And I think that that's where the xenomorph and the raptors link, because that's how David basically sees the alien. He created these eggs, and they can go off and produce, and this, that, and the other, and they, you know, they can reproduce themselves. What was I going to say a minute ago? I was going to bring up another subject, but just have a sip of tea. Oh no, look, it's gone all pixelated. I don't know if you can see this on this, but the T-Rex is actually, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can, oh, going the wrong way. Yeah, there you go. So I think the T-Rex has a mug of tea in its hand. Don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can. No, it's not working. It's affected by the green screen. Alright. I don't know how well has this been holding up, because the sun is coming through the window, so it's affecting the green screen right here. I mean, if I go into filters, see, look, it's I need to iron this. This is not good, but this is up temporarily. I want to put it up on a wall or something and work it out, but we'll work it out. Yo, Harv Plays, how you doing, Harvey? My nephew is here. Yeah, how long have we been streaming? Jesus. Oh, nearly 2 hours. Okay, that's all good. Ripley and Muldoon believe they should both be destroyed. I'm just trying to think what I was going to mention a minute ago. No, can't remember. Okay, so when I come to animate this frame, which should be soon, not on live stream, but just to give you an example, there's going to be two shoulders coming into frame. So you're gonna see like the heads of someone like this, and then you're gonna see the heads. You're gonna see someone's head come in. Like that kind of thing, and they're going to be like coming into the frame like this while she's talking, like that. So basically a lot of the detail I don't need to put in there. I'll see you later, Dylan Dino. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. I was just trying to think like what... There was a point I was going to make about David, I believe, and the aliens. And some comparison between the movies. They all stem back to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That is essentially the catharsis. Sorry, the catalyst, not catharsis. What am I talking about? The catalyst for all of this. So where should the shadows be? Talk to me, Rylu. Where should the shadows be? Teach me something. Teach me the ways of the Force. Should they be more skewed? Should they be more like that? Michael Thumb quoting The Simpsons. I just blended those. Wait, I should separate those and then do it again. Edit, skew. No, there's a leg shadow where there is no actual leg. Oh, you mean this leg here, right? This one I'm circling? Yeah, okay. I can get rid of. Yeah, I can get rid of that. I will get rid of it, don't you worry. Begone, leg! Begone! Let's do this. But yeah, there's the connection between the alien, just to finish that like conversation up, the connection between the alien and the Jurassic Park franchise is something I'm fascinated with, because I love both. And what's funny is I didn't realise how connected they were when I was a kid. It was only till I was a little bit older that I started to go, hang on a second, I've got a theme to what I like. But the thing was, it was like the sort of parallels between those two franchises, as I've mentioned, are like weirdly similar. Especially when you get to like the Newborn and the Indominus. But I would argue that the Alien Resurrection got everything wrong with the Newborn, and Jurassic World got things right with the Indominus. The way they handled those characters. I think the Newborn looked goofy the way they filmed it, whereas if they kept it in shadow, it would have looked pretty terrifying to see that sort of skull poking out of like the dark. But they actually had it meow and God knows what else. Which I can see what they were going for. They were like, oh, what if it's like it sees Ripley and then it meows like it's, you know, it's being all sweet and tender towards her, and it's like, yeah, no. On paper it might have worked, but on screen not so much. And then, you know, you get to Jurassic World and the Indominus is just this unrelenting creature that doesn't know what it is, doesn't know where it fits on the food chain, intelligent, so when it gets out, the first thing it does is fights everything it sees because it wants to know, it wants to work out, like, what can I eat, where am I on the pecking order. And interestingly enough, it's when it meets the raptors when it becomes undone. Like, it meets the raptors and they turn on it, and it's obviously the T-Rex is the thing that you know, because it does beat the raptors, but it's through beating the raptors is what's its undoing, essentially. Okay, so now what I'm going to do... Oh, Clayton, I'll see you around, dude. See you later. We'll talk about the alien video soon. I hope the shadows are working now, right? Are they working for you, Riley? Actually, that's a point. Maybe if I put the shadows... If I put the shadows under the floor... No, it looked better before, didn't it? And I've just realised that the floor here needs to be cut. Cut down like that. There we go. I've also got, let me download this. Look at this. So this is a creature that I did on a live stream. This isn't even the finished one. This is just one that's going to be in the background. Oh, why does it grab that? There we go. Yo, Diamond, you're back. I thought the creature in the tank was a plesiosaur. I never revealed what it was. But I'll say this, Jurassic Collectibles, I noticed something that you said on Twitter and it made me laugh, and it's somewhat related to this. I won't reveal it yet because that'll be spoilers for the story, but if I say, like, don't give them ideas, this idea might have been floating around in my head for a while, so you can see it's called a seal. But I won't reveal anything more than that. I don't know if you're actually going to see it in this frame. I mean, it is right there. I need to change the perspective. Harv says maybe we can see the tail of it leaving the frame. Yeah, I don't know if I was actually going to animate it swimming away. But do you know what? I think you're right. I think it needs to be like turning around and like swimming around in here. So I'm actually gonna leave that until I edit the actual frame, which I won't be doing on here. Just trying to think of something else I need to do. How many? Oh, see, this plant is actually closer to the piano, so if I grab that and move it like there. Oh, copy, delete, paste. Let's do some more to this. The Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus. Yeah, you're not too far off. You might actually be spot on. So the it's got something to do with a leopard seal. This plant's going to be like. Let me just bring that around. And for some reason I have a ton of mosasaur related creatures inside my head, like Kronosaurus. Do you know what, I'll say this, I love the name Kronosaurus. I think that's a it makes me laugh. It always reminds me of like cronies, that word crony, which I don't know, is that an offensive word? So with the plant life, I like to sort of almost hand draw it, but I'm actually going to put an effect on the whole background. So I'll just finish doing this plant, and then I will add the shadows and shading on the old lady, on Rose, and then I'll add the effect to the background, and then I'll be done for today's stream. Yo Dylan, welcome back. How are we doing now on time? Okay, 2 hours 5 minutes. Not too bad. Yes, I need to eat as well. Leopard Coelosaurus. I think you guys, or at least I hope you guys, really enjoy what I'm going to do with the story of this. Because on one hand, you know, I could just do a simple story of dinosaurs eat people, but I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting than just that. And obviously, with Jurassic being oh so popular, I wanted to do something that wasn't just Jurassic Park, but not Jurassic Park, if you know what I mean. So this is obviously heavily inspired by my favourite franchises and things I love in pop culture, but hopefully I'll be able to win over people who watch it and have it its own thing, have it tell its own story. K Rexy says, so I'm new. What dinosaurs are planned? Can't tell you. I can reveal what I've revealed so far. There's a leopard seal thing. It's not a dinosaur, but Dimetrodon. I think I've already announced that Dimetrodon's going to be in it. Megalosaurus. Potentially a Megaraptor. And I can tell you what's not in the show. There is no T-Rex. The only T-Rex you're going to see in this animated show is the statue here. Is that statue, which is actually, as people know, is my original dinosaur toy from 1987. This was the first dinosaur toy I ever got given. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Tyrannosaurus 1987 on the bottom, and it's red. So this was my first red Rex, and I figured as a neat thing, I would have this thing cameo in Dino-Defenders as a marble statue, as you can see in the background, in this old lady's living quarters at this certain specific location. Yeah, there's no Triceratops, no Stegosaurus, no Velociraptor, no Deinonychus. I want to have more obscure species of prehistoric animals, and just sort of, you know, shine a light on some of the lesser known creatures. There's one creature I've got in this show that I'm so excited to draw and bring to life, and I have this certain scene in this that I seriously cannot wait to bring to life, because that's going to be something I think a lot of Dino fans will like, because it's something I thought would be really really creepy and really cool. Bring in Spino. I wanted to limit the size. I didn't want any truly giant dinosaurs. I think I've got one sauropod I'm thinking of putting in this. Not one individual dinosaur, but like one species of sauropod. And I was thinking Megalosaurus was going to be the biggest theropod I was going to put in the show. Because I think, like, you know, dealing with dinosaurs in fiction, I think obviously everyone wants to talk about like the grandeur and the size of dinosaurs, but I wanted to, obviously the characters will talk a little bit about that in this, but I wanted to make it more interesting to have like species that, you know, aren't necessarily huge. I I wanted to see Dimetrodon and Megalosaurus. Well, yeah, there you go. Jurassic Collectible says, can I request a Concavinator? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's the one, that's the theropod with the one spiked sail on its back, right? Made a cameo as a statue in Fallen Kingdom. Yes, I've got the Operation Genesis soundtrack playing in the background. It's because it's good. It doesn't get flagged for you know, you don't get copyright strikes if you play the JPOG soundtrack. So I can paint in peace. Can we at least have a Suchomimus, says the Imperial Spinosaurus. If I was going to have any Spinosaurid in the story, it'd be Baryonyx, just because that's one of my favourite dinosaurs, so I'd probably pick that one. But I don't think I'm going to have any... yeah, I don't think there's any room for a Spinosaurid in this story, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Oh, actually, I want to get the bark. So, this is going to sound really and oddly specific, but you know, some of the bark on the trees in this story, I'm actually going to paint like grey rather than brown for bark, because and I think Jurassic fans will like this, because when you look at the tree stumps and stuff in the original Jurassic Park, they seem to be grey. Like there's the scene where Grant, Lex, and Tim they climb up in the trees for the you know, to sleep. And if you look at the bark on the trees, it's not like brown or you know, or like a barky colour. It's like grey. It's like almost like a graphite grey, like you'd find in the middle of a pencil. And I always found that really interesting because it gave the trees a really distinct look. And I want to have that. Yes, JC's because it's made from carved foam painted. Yeah, and I want to sort of emulate that in the bark in this series. So like you'll see some of the trees. Like I've done brown over on this side to an extent, like up here. But I really wanted to like emulate that kind of that feeling. And I don't know if JC was here for the last live stream. I can't remember if you were. I don't think you were, but let me just see if I can find something. No. Where is it? Oh, you'd have to watch it. But last time I was I was using Alan Grant as a reference for, because I had an overhead shot and I wanted to get like the body right. So I took this photo of Alan Grant and I flipped it. I flipped the image so it's the opposite. I mean, this is the right way around, but I flipped it like, you know, just flipped it horizontally. Yeah, just like that. And then I used him as an outline, a template for getting the angle right. Yo, Jacob. Welcome to the stream. And so there's this frame in Dino-Defenders where if you look closely at one of the characters, it's just he stood in Alan Grant's pose, because I thought that would be kind of funny to like have that in there. Good old Alan. Alan. But it's good. I've always said, like, you know, when doing artwork, you know, and you've got these old action figures lying around, like, I think it's always good to, like, you can, I don't know, what have I got here? Yeah, so like I've got Dieter Stark, and so like you could look at it, and I was doing it like framing him with my eyesight to the screen to try and get like the angle right. and all that. I wonder how this will look on the green screen. Oh, it's unaffected. I thought the Thrasher T-Rex would be like... Oh, let's see. How does this look on the screen? Oh, look at that. Yes. It's the Ghost. It's the Ghost Ford Explorer. I mean, look at those wheels. They're not even the right wheels. It's the ghost of the car that got melted by the lava in Fallen Kingdom. I am afraid of no ghost unless it's a ghost tour car. Anyway, I am so faffing. Okie dokes. So, this one, let's go dark grey. Alice or Hill says, "What if Jurassic World 3 is about ghost dinosaurs and that ghost car is in it?" Dream come true, says Dylan Dino. See, now I'm curious, like, what is in my reach that I can pull up and see what goes green. Oh my god, if this one works. If this one works. Please work. Why? Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, I was going to do like, oh, why did you leave me on the docks? It's kind of working. Why? Why did you leave me? No. It tends to be like the bright green. So I've got like the Chaos Effect Raptor here, and like if you look like. Yeah, kind of works. I'm sad that the Brachiosaur didn't work, because that had been very funny. How the sun is really coming through. I mean, the green screen has been compromised, as I've mentioned. Just bear with that. And what is going on with my head? Oh, I guess I changed the angle of the camera, didn't I? Hey Jack, was your Pterodome ship model after the one Neil deGrasse Tyson used in the Cosmos TV show? No, I literally... I went into a shop, I was like, I knew I wanted to build a spaceship for a YouTube video. I've actually got it right here. And I went into like basically I just went into a model shop, and I thought, my inspiration was Mystery Science Theater 3000, hence the 3000 in both our names. And I wanted to, I was just walking around, and I saw this polystyrene ball, and I saw this polystyrene cone, and I had this like yogurt pot, and so I figured I'll make it like an ice cream cone shape, because I thought that would be like kind of funny. And so yeah, and then I just brought it home, and I've actually been recently retooling it, so I'm going to be adding more bits on and making it look better, hopefully. But yeah, so there's the actual pterodome with the with his butthole on the back. But yeah, so I've actually been redoing this. I took some of the tape off and I've been doing it, and you can see that the back has the back all coloured in black, which I'm going to redo as well. And the reason for that is when you're filming this in front of a green screen, you could see the green screen through the dome. So then like all the stuff inside just got ruined, and already that's green because there's like plants and there's the base in there, and so that was green screening out. So having the black bit at the back actually changed the colour of everything inside the dome, and thus you could see everything. Ooh, I wonder what this would look like on the green screen. Let's just have a look. Well, that looks cool. Look at that. It's like cut out the T-Rex. Looks pretty neat. That's pretty cool. What did he say? You should make cups of the Pterodome 3000 ship, says Alice or Hell. Yeah. K-Rex, he says Mystery Science Theater 3000. I love it. Well, the reason, you know, the oh crap! Didn't mean to start Steam. Yeah, the reason I went with the Pterodome was I was watching loads of YouTube reviewers, you know, reviewing movies and stuff, and you know, not just movies but anything, and I was like, you know what, a lot of these people are just recording in front of their like DVD cases and stuff, and while that's great, I wanted to put a little bit more into creating something that was kind of fun in the sense that like I'm on a ship and I'm in space, and there's also the other reasons for this. So, and the other reasons being that if I'm ever critical, I've got something on my channel that people can be critical of that I've created, and I might do it like sort of semi half-assed, hence the like polystyrene cones and stuff, but at least there'll be something, you know, that I've created on there. And also like I think in terms of visuals, there's a picture speaks 1,000 words. So when you like watch a Pterodome video, like let's say you've never heard of Pterodome 3000 and you come onto my channel, the idea is that in just seeing that I'm on a ship and I'm surrounded by all this junk and stuff, and by the name Pterodome 3000, you'll instantly be able to know that I'm a fan of the Alien franchise, I'm a fan of things like Red Dwarf. You'll know that like I've already got a lot of passion and appreciation for science fiction instantly, just upon seeing it before I've even uttered a word. And hence why I was like, that's actually a pretty it should be a pretty good idea. And it's obviously, since I've started it, it's been touch and go because I've been very busy doing things like the work for Fallen Kingdom. I've moved house recently and all this, but now I've finally moved and settled. You know, I should be able to be on top of the episodes more. So that's why you're starting to see more episodes of like the Black Sack coming out sooner. I've got other videos, Pterodome videos in the works. You know, and genuinely we want to make like just more episodes of Pterodome, not just like review anything all the time, but like actually make like kind of like the Revenge of G98, where we actually like make an episode of something. But yeah. Jacob Arnold says, "Hey Jack, have you ever watched Doctor Who?" I watched a lot of the old Doctor Who's when I was younger. I used to like the automatons, or the mannequin men, as me and my friend Ross called them. And I've seen a few episodes of the new series, but I'm not caught up with it. And there's just something about it that it doesn't, in terms of like science fiction and stuff, it doesn't click with me as well as it probably should. But you know, I'm you know, if it's ever on TV, my wife is more into it than I am. But if she ever watches it and I'm about and I fancy watching it, I'll watch it. But yeah, I mean, Doctor Who definitely has some inspiration over the Pterodome because it's cut from the same sort of cloth. So, you know, I'd be lying if I said the influence of Doctor Who has not touched the Pterodome. It definitely has. You mean, you know, like, look at things like the Garlic and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm not massively into it. If you were to say to me right now, which one would you rather watch, the new Doctor Who or the old Doctor Who? I'm gonna go old Doctor Who because there's something charming about the the really old sets and that. Whereas like the new Doctor Who, it's kind of it's glossy. It's like it's very glossy, and I think what lends itself to Doctor Who is the you know, because they're dealing with such crazy storylines and crazy characters. I think what lends to that is the old sets that looked like they were really handmade. There's it's the same with Red Dwarf. So Red Dwarf, they you know, they had the model ship for a lot of the early series. I love all the Red Dwarfs, even the ones that I'm probably going to complain about, but I'm just talking about effects here. So like a lot of the old Doctor Who, the old Red Dwarfs, they used a miniature for the ship, and then I think it was somewhere around season 7, season 8, they turned to a CGI ship. And while, you know, they kept some models in those series when they went in like Starbug and stuff, and then there was some other later series where they changed to a CGI Starbug. The CGI was jarring, and it didn't feel right. And then once they brought Red Dwarf back onto Dave, when BBC gave it over to Dave, they rightly went back to making models, and it feels like old Red Dwarf again, even though you've got more glossy cameras and everything's in HD. You know, and there is some CGI, you know, there's still some CGI in it, but the ships are primarily done with models, and it's just, it adds, because same with like Doctor Who, Red Dwarf doesn't take itself seriously all the time, so like it kind of gets away with it, and you forgive some of the like craziness of it because you you can see the craft that went into the effects. And that's the whole reason I was doing Pterodome as well, is because of that sort of thing. I wanted people to watch the YouTube videos and be just like I can see how he's done that kind of thing, because then when I'm like, if I'm ever complaining about something, or if I ever critique like a movie, if I review it on like Pterodome, you know, I'll sit here and say, look, you can critique my work as much as possible, because you know, you got to take as much as you can give in a way. And I feel like that, no disrespect, but I think a lot of people who like review movies and stuff, and they're just sat in front of their, I've done it before, I've done it, I'm guilty, but like sat in front of their DVD case, it's like, yeah, well, there's not much effort put into this review as such. It's like it's done quickly. So I thought, do you know what, I'll go back to, I want to go back to the old days of YouTube, when like, you know, you get people like Cinemassacre who does the AVGN videos, and when he's reviewing a game, he doesn't do it in halves, he does it full-heartedly and makes something out of it that can be critiqued in and of itself. So I think that's very respectable to me. That's the way I've seen it. I have not seen the dinosaurs in the spaceship episode. Baron Von Drac says, I will buy out that ship of yours, Jack. It's great for military use. And Monster Man Alex says hello. Baron Von Drax. Baron Von Drax. Trying to work out which of my friends that is. I swear Baron Von Drax is someone I know. Is that Ross? Can't be Ross. Is it Shane? Baron Von Drax Shane? The plot thickens. Or is Baron Von Drax? Yeah, Baron Von Drax is Shane, isn't it? I might be wrong. Jacob Arnold, hey Jack, when you were helping make Fallen Kingdom, did you meet Chris Pratt or any of the film cast? P.S. Have you seen Walking with Dinosaurs, the BBC version from the 1990s? It's behind the green screen. I own the BBC Walking with Dinosaurs series from 1999. I love it. It's great. I didn't meet any of the cast. I met the producers. You meet the cast like sort of at the premieres. That's where you kind of meet them. But we were on set when they were filming the DPG scenes in the film. That was when we had our set visit, and in the scene where, you know, well, in the whole DPG sequence, we were there for that day of shooting, and so we're behind there somewhere. So we saw the actors working, but I didn't meet them. Bryce was very busy, so we wrote her some lines to say for the DPG videos while we were on set, and then her assistant came over and took them over to her so they could film them with the actual film cameras on set, because we figured, you know, while we're here and we've got the set built, we all agreed we should actually film some of the viral videos while we're on set with the film cameras. So from my understanding, from what I was told was being done, they filmed all the DPG videos, you know, the introduction videos and the Adopt a Dino video intros and stuff like that. They did that with the film cameras. Like, they did that with the actual film cameras that they did. So Baron von Drax being a troll. But yeah, no, the bar set that was in the film, because we visited quite a few sets on that day. The bar set where Claire is trying to convince Owen to come to Nublar to save Blue, that set was right next door to the DPG set. And it was funny because I was working as a barman at the time of the visit. I had a part-time job working at a bar, and I was I was trying to convince them. I was like, you know, you need an extra to play the barman. I've got good qualities in it right now. My part-time job is being a barman. Obviously, I left that job once the Fallen Kingdom work really kicked off, and we worked on Fallen Kingdom for like a year or so. And just over a year, and it was very, very surreal, I have to say, to be working on Jurassic solely for a year. You know, just research and doing drawings and writing content, and then, you know, coming up with stuff and doing all that. It was a dream come true scenario, but it felt weird because I was doing it all from my home. So for the most part, aside from when we had the set visits and meetings, yeah, it was like one of those moments where it's like I'm just sat on my sofa at home and I'm writing content for Jurassic, and it's and then it gets published, and then you see the whole world read it, and it's just a very surreal moment. I've just realised that plant pot is very small. I'm just going to up the size of the plant pot. Jacob Arnold asks, hey Jack, do you own the Walking with Dinosaurs TV special, The Ballad of Big Al? P.S. What do you think of Nostalgia Critic? I don't have much to say about Nostalgia Critic. I haven't watched any of his videos. I started watching the Lost World one. I'll tell a lie. I started watching his review of the Lost World, and I got about 5 minutes in, and then I turned it off. Because I know he was playing a character, but there were some things he was saying about the film, and I was like, nah, I don't even know if he believes what he's saying. And I do own the Ballad of Big Al. I own a box set of the Walking with Dinosaurs series. Wait, let me just see if I can quickly find that for you. I'll show you what's on it. It's right here, behind the green screen. Ooh. So I own this, the big dinosaur box, and it's got Walking with Dinosaurs, The Ballad of Big Al, and Land of Giants and the Giant Claw. So there you go. Oh, wrong way. This series is so good. That is probably my favourite thing they did ever, The Ballad of Big Al. And this series is alright. It's pretty good. But yeah, that's what I own, the big dinosaur box. Yo, Kyla Dugan. So all you need is Walking with Monsters. Yeah, I own Walking with Beasts on VHS, but I'm looking to get rid of that because I don't have a VHS player. Right, okay, let's do the last little bits then on this lady. So basically I'm just going to get the darkening tool. Going to sort of shade her. Like so, and then duplicate the layer, add the gradient overlay, the old lady reminds you of your grandma, says Alice or Hell. Bancroft Family Production says hello there. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. And then we use the okay, that looks pretty. Oh, that looks pretty good. Just going to merge these, and then I'm just going to take the brightness down. See what else are you guys saying? Hey Jack, would you ever want to meet Keith Brannan, the Walking... Oh, Kenneth Brannan, sorry. The Walking with Dinosaurs narrator. P.S. What is your favourite Walking with Dinosaurs episode? Also, have you seen the Peter Jackson King Kong movie? Yes, I have seen the Peter Jackson King Kong movie. There's a commentary for that on my channel. which is not is a commentary I did with a friend, and we were having a good laugh. So we don't go into like any important details, or we're just having fun with it. But I will be covering the new King Kong 2005 in my Skull Island Files videos, which I'm currently working on. So look out for that one soon. Yes, I would like to meet the narrator of Walking with Dinosaurs. And my favourite episode of Walking with Dinosaurs was Spirits of the Forest. Spirits of the Forest, because I think that's a really interesting and not a usual look at life of dinosaurs. Bancroft Family Productions. I've got to commend you on pronouncing my family name right, but then again, you're also British. Who pronounces it wrong? Bancroft. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take the plants. So this is going to be the final thing I do. I'm going to do all this, take all of this, and merge. So now these layers are all merged. So if I remove the glass, we've got the lady, and what I'm going to do now is duplicate this layer, and yeah, duplicate the layer, and then I'm going to go into filter gallery. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see this, are you? Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, you're not going to see this, so I'll have to do this quickly and then see if we can. What if Sam Neill narrated Walking with Dinosaurs? That would be awesome. How good would it be if they did like a new Walking with Dinosaurs series and Sam Neill did the narration? Actually, what would be cool is if Sam Neill did a narration on a dinosaur series that was like a documentary but done in the Jurassic Park universe. Now that is something I'd want to see. If you've ever read the Jurassic Park adventure books, that's kind of what Alan Grant and Eric Kirby set up a base of operations on Site B to study the dinosaurs. And it's one of those things where it's like you could very easily imagine him doing that sort of thing. Oh, thank you, Collectibles. I just ruined it, but on purpose. No, that's not right. So I've duplicated the layer because I want to. You should also add a watery reflection of the lady. Yeah, I will be adding the reflection of the lady and the rest of the room, but I'm going to do that off stream, because if not, how long have I been streaming now? Yeah, I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. I'm going to be here all night if I'm doing this, and I've got other stuff I need to do. But the room, you're going to see the room in the background, in a way. It's funny to find out that Sam Neill almost played Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2. That would be awesome. Jacob Arnold, hey Jack, would you do you play Nintendo games? P.S. What did you think of Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex design, both the mother and the chicks? And would you want Jeff Goldblum to narrate Walking with Dinosaurs? No, I wouldn't want Jeff Goldblum. I'd rather Sam Neill. And Nintendo games, I'm currently playing Breath of the Wild, the new Zelda, on Switch. And I like the T-Rex design in Walking with Dinosaurs. However, you could tell at the time that it was very much, and by its roar, that it was very much influenced by the Jurassic Park T-Rex. I don't know if it was just me, but I almost felt like that they were really, yeah, really influenced by it. Okay, well, I'll work what I'm doing out later. Okay, guys, I think that will do for today. I think we've done pretty well. I might add, there's a whole desk here. I mean, yeah, how close is that? Maybe I'll just add that quickly now. Maybe I'll just do it. It's just a simple get the layer. We'll just shove it in there like this. It's the blue. And then, yeah, it goes, oh, it's actually a little bit bigger than that, isn't it? Yeah, we got the table, which I will add. So I said I was done, and I'm like, nope. Let's just see what you guys are saying. Sorry. Hey Jack, can you say what happened to the T-Rex infant from the Lost World? No, because it's up in the air. We don't know what happened to it this time. I'm gonna ask the same question, JC. The Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus asks, Jurassic Collectibles, would you review, if you haven't already, some of the original Walking with Dinosaurs toys, not the 2013 movie? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. So I actually have this, which is left over from my childhood. That I was going to give away. I was just going to, you know, give to someone. If Jurassic Collectibles, if you want this, I mean, it's lost a little paintwork on the top. But if you want this to review on your channel or anything, just let me know and I'll send it your way. Because I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, should I give it to my cousin? Oh, not my cousin, my nephew. But then I was like, actually, he was counting them. He's like 4, and he worked out that he had like 136 dinosaurs. And I thought, would I be spoiling him if I just gave him this? So I figured I'll send it your way. We don't have to do a trade. I mean, yeah, you don't have to do a trade because, you know, you're more than welcome to just have it, and then you can do a review on it. Just shoot me a DM or something on the old Twitter or something, or an email. If you've got my email, send me an email and I'll organise getting that to you. Oh, my nephew would definitely want it, but I bought him a load of Fallen Kingdom action figures, and he's got enough. So it's like I don't want to spoil him. He's got Christmas coming up, so you know. I'll see you later, Dylan. When is the next stream? Who asked that? Where did I see that? Dylan Dino asked, when's the next stream? I'll probably be doing one some point this week, maybe towards the weekend. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'll shoot that your way, JC. What did I think of the T-Rex chicks from Walking with Dinosaurs? I thought they were very cute. There you go, Jacob. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream there. I really, really hope you've enjoyed this, and this is probably the longest stream I've done in a while. I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you so much. If you can, please, let me just do this. Please go and add to my Patreon. Let me see if I can I reactivate my webcam on this? But anyway, yeah, go support my Patreon if you want to see this Dino-Defenders getting done much quicker. Basically, your donation provides me the time to stay at home longer, and then that means I can actually paint on this as quickly as possible and get this out as quickly as possible. So go donate to my Patreon if you want to. You don't have to, because you know, I don't want to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. If you think this looks like a piece of shit, then I don't blame you. And also subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already, and be sure to look out for future live streams, future videos about Jurassic World Evolution, future videos on my Kong files that I'm currently doing, Black Sack episodes, other random Pterodome episodes. There's all sorts going on over here. Yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed it, guys, and I will catch you on the flip. Thank you everyone for coming to the stream. You're amazing, and I appreciate it. Bye bye.